Good afternoon. This is Tom Alexander. It is Sunday, September 7th. This is the U.S. stock market update for Monday, September, beginning the week beginning Monday, September 8th. And we have a packed economic calendar next week that is likely to affect things, the indices. Here's the bottom line. We're in a bull market. We're still in a bull trend, short term as well. The last leg up, and I cover this in the written report, which you can access, by the way, alexandertrading.com. Click on weekly updates. It's free. You can download the PDF. You can see all the levels if you want to print out the charts, et cetera, of the levels that I'm going to show you and things I'm going to discuss in this video. By the way, would very much appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, make comments. All these things help the algorithm as I try to grow this channel. So thank you very much for that in advance. Okay, so we're at all-time highs or hovering around all-time highs in the indices, all the indices, even the Russell is fairly close. It is making progress towards its all-time high. And it's just amazing over the 40 years that I've been trading the cycle repeats itself. So here we are hovering near all-time highs, and you have two groups out there, two primary groups. You have the big firms, the big investment firms, the JP Morgans of the world, Bank of America, the usual suspects, Morgan Stanley's, and they're all predicting infinity to the upside. The S&P is going to 7,000. It's never been better. And then you have the technical magician crowd, and they're all predicting the end of the world. So who's going to be right? I don't know. And frankly, they don't know either. But from a trader's perspective, just follow the price action. If the market's going higher, it will continue to do what it's been doing. That's very easily recognizable, that you could teach a child to recognize. The indices will continue to make higher highs and higher lows. Now, what if the technical magician crowd is correct and we're about to have the beginning of the end of the world, the wave 55555 all-time grand Armageddon supercycle top? Well, guess what has to happen? If that occurs, it has to take out certain levels below. It will not be a straight line. And if it were a straight line, when do you get any way to predict it? So it's going to make a series of lower lows and lower highs. That's all you need to know. Now, that's way too simple to sell, but that's the reality. And that's the world as traders that we live in. Hopefully, as a trader, you live in the world of reality. So let's take a look at the charts and see what we can see. Okay. All right, let's just take it one by one. We're going to look at the SPX. And, we had the dramatic spike on Friday. People are, again, it's primarily the technical magicians are predicting that this is the all-time grand super cycle wave 5 end of time top. However, I'm not so sure. First of all, the trend is still intact, even off of the early September low. Something has to happen to confirm that we're having some sort of top. And right now, that level is down here. Now, it will change during the week. It's unlikely that we're just going to trade from Friday's close through this level. If that were to happen, that would be an initial bearish signal of some relatively significant degree. But unless that happens, you're looking for some pattern to establish itself where lower highs are being made. Okay, so this is the SPX. These are really the most relevant levels now in all the indices are going to be Friday's range extremes, because Friday was a news day. Friday was a relatively wide range day in all the indices. You can break it down and make, from a trader's perspective, it is that simple. All right, NDX. Similar situation. We're between the high, we're between Thursday's low. This is Friday's range, but I don't have Friday's range marked here, but We traded it, we closed in the middle of the range. No big deal. All right, let's look at the Dow. Similar situation in the Dow. Friday's range is important. Friday's low is not too far above Thursday's low. Mr. Russell. Now, the Russell was showing relative strength. The Russell is a much larger index than the SPX or DX, and is showing some relative strength. This is its all-time high. Let's look at the New York Composite, which is every listed stock on the NYSE. Again, it's the range extremes from Friday are going to be important in that index. Okay, so let's take a look at some internals here, see if there's any news there. This is you guys that have been following me or that have followed me for years. This is something that I keep. The red line is a 10-day moving average of NYSE advancing issues. The green is a 5-day moving average of NYSE advancing issues. This is pretty much worthless information, frankly, until we start to get in a downtrend. It's far more effective at helping to identify short-term lows than it is highs. Currently, there is a lingering divergence that goes back months. Not a big surprise in a bull trend. All right, let's take a look at VIX. VIX is not telling us anything significant either. VIX actually dropped in spite of the volatility and the drama on Friday. VIX actually came in a little bit. No big deal. So, guys, that's what we have. That is the current reality. Just follow the price action. Don't get caught up in the macro hype. Don't get caught up in the technical magician hype. Just follow the market. Higher highs and higher lows. You want to be long. Lower lows and lower highs. You want to be short. You guys have a great remainder of your weekend, and I'll speak with you again very soon.